Hi guys, that's week 4 done of Mamemeister's High Score Kerfuffle Season 7, and last week we were playing In the Hunt, released by Irem in 1993. As I said last week, the developers here went on to form Nazca Corporation and release the Metal Slug series, which explains the look of the game, and it looks great. Although it very much is a shmup, it's pretty different to many other shmups. Reflecting the underwater theme, the game is a little slower than similar games, and you control the scrolling. The game often tries to hurry you up, but the key to making progress is to be somewhat slow and deliberate, picking off enemies as they appear. You need to slow things down, as this game is rock hard. Just completing the first level is a significant achievement, and it will punish the uninitiated. I was able to complete the first level, but didn't have the time to get used to the second. I did enjoy my time with the game, and working out how to do each section is quite satisfying, but I didn't enjoy having to play through the sections I'd already learnt to get to the next bit I was getting stuck on. Regarding home releases, I'm not going to highlight anything this week, as by this point the ports were pretty much arcade perfect. The game came out on both the Sony PlayStation and the Sega Saturn in 1995, both looking great, but the Saturn port was known to have a bit more slowdown. It also came out on Windows in 1997. Interestingly, a SNES port was apparently in development, but never appeared. That was a shame given what we saw with Aero Fighters last week, but I'm guessing that performance must have been good enough to be released. So that's In the Hunt done. Let's take a look at the scores. Here is this week's table. We've had 19 people play this week, including a return from A. Creighton and a fuck this shit from Mike after a few games. I'm all the way down in 12th after not playing following some initial progress. I'm sure I could have got further into level 2 with a few more runs. Our top 10 is made up of Robert in 10th and Juffa just ahead in 9th. There's then a bit of a gap to a group of 5 people, all finishing closely, from Mark in 4th down to Leagsy in 8th. Our top 3 are made up of KMA in 3rd with nearly 500,000, and then our top 2 are very close. Pearl led for much of the week, but Graham has grinded away, and it's him who takes this week's win with a huge 840,000. Well done to both Graham and Pearl for 2 excellent performances. Here is the score distribution. The players this week are split into 4 distinct groups, but still managed to fit roughly a normal distribution overall. We have our stragglers on the left, who are unable to beat the first boss, which gives a significant bump in score. Those in the middle were able to beat that boss, but will have died on level 2. Our next group of 6 likely got beyond level 2, and possibly only KMA in 3rd got beyond level 3. Finally, we have a gap again to our top 2, who were closely matched, are in the same bin as a result. They were the class of the field, and it was a great effort being a whole bin ahead of everyone else. And now the difficulty curve. It's been a while since we've seen such a steppy curve, but this reflects how this game has numerous pinch points, with a scoring system that's pretty linear. From our bottom 2, there is a big jump to those getting stuck on level 2, another jump to those getting stuck on level 3, and then another big jump to those getting beyond that. This really reflects how tough this game is at points, but with practice can be overcome. And finally, the progress over the week. Mark set our first benchmark at 150,000 before Pearl moved things on again. KMA was briefly leading after setting his final score of nearly 500,000, before Pearl pushed things on again beyond 800,000. From not leading at any point during the week, Graham made steady progress, gradually pushing his score up. This was a great effort, and you can see his persistence has paid off, finally getting ahead of Pearl yesterday to take a well-deserved victory this week. With 4 weeks done, this is what the table is looking like. Robert is up 3 into 17th. Last season he had an excellent finish to the season, so don't write him off yet. KMA is up 4 into 10th with an excellent podium spot this week. Mark is ahead of Leagsy for 5th, and then it's all change in our top 4. Neither Juff or myself did that well, and we've both been jumped by Pearl climbing to 2nd, and our new leader Graham with that excellent win this week. Hopefully we get something other than a shmup to mix things up. Now, on to our next game. The next year is 1994, and some weeks we've had many games suggested. This wasn't one of those weeks. I've had 17 games sent to me, including 6 suggestions of Puzzle Bobble, 3 of Elevator Action Returns, and 2 for Gumbird. Graham's choice of Elevator Action Returns is trebled, so that gets 5 slots to Puzzle Bobble's 6 out of the total 19 slots. So let's set the selector going and see what we get. Okay, it's slowing down. Gunbird. Oh, it's not going to be another shmup, is it? Is it just ticking over? Okay, so I think it's probably good that we've not got another shmup, but just about it's gone over to Robert's choice, which is Snow Bros 2. I don't know much about this game. I did briefly have a look at it when Robert suggested it. I think it's like a single screen platform type game, kind of cutesy graphics. I'll go look it up, make a video, and be back in a sec. So this week's game is Snow Bros 2, released by toaplan in 1994. We've had a few toaplan games before, and they've all been shmups, which is what they're best known for. toaplan didn't want to tarnish their good name with putting out a cutesy platformer, so it was released under another label called Hanafram. But unfortunately for toaplan, they went bankrupt not long after this game's release, making it a bit of a rare one to find in the wild. Unsurprisingly, it is the sequel to Snow Bros, another game I haven't really heard of or played. The game is a single screen platformer in a similar style to Bubble Bobble. I would have much preferred Puzzle Bobble after a quick play, and I wasn't really enjoying it. But let's see if it grows on me. You have 4 characters to choose from, which seem to have slightly different attacks, which are controlled by one button, and another button for jump. You can stun an enemy, turn it into a snowball, and then punt it across the screen, potentially taking out other enemies. I'm guessing getting to the top enemy and taking them all out with a snowball will deliver more points. Apparently there are bosses after every few levels, but I've not got that far yet. There only seems to be one version of the ROM, so that's what we'll be using, along with default settings. For next week, please send me your games from 1995. There are a few good ones that year. I'll put Juff down for Don Patchy already, and maybe Colin for Pang 3. I'll probably go for Baku Baku Animal, as you all know I like a puzzle game. And Puzzle Bobble 2 also came out that year. So I hope you all enjoy playing some Snow Bros 2. It could be a long week. I'll be back next week with the scores and the next game. See you then.